Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you guys one of the quirks of being a member of NoBsJJ, as in the school that I just opened. Now, one of the quirks of being a member is to have access to my personal Jiu-Jitsu database, right? This is a Notion database. It's modeled on the work that Jake from NoBsJJ has been doing. I've been doing my separate database, which isn't as comprehensive as he is, but it very much focuses on the things that we worked on in class. So if you are a student, if you're one of my students, if you come regularly to class, you will often hear me referencing matches, right? And you will often hear me say, oh, just like Hainan did in that match in 2023, and well, this is where it comes from. So you can immediately go and check what I'm talking about, right? So this is a Notion database. I try to keep it as simple as possible. But for those of you that aren't used to Notion, here it goes. So here you have very simple names, and these are the name of the opponents, very simple description of the position, a timestamp, URL, position, and what kind of object this is. So objects, basically whether it's a YouTube link, whether it's a match, what kind of event it is. This is a Who's Number 126. This is a UFC Invitational 9, Stage Craig Johnson Invitational 2024, day 1, and so on and so forth, right? Sometimes you will see that it here says YouTube link, right? Now the URL, well, that's self-explanatory. You will see in most of the cases it's empty because the reality is that most of these matches are unfortunately behind a paywall. I try to introduce as much content, sort of free YouTube content as possible, but the reality is that most of Jiu-Jitsu is behind a paywall. Then you have obviously the timestamp, and then you have the position. And this is where the database starts becoming very interesting because this is a multi-select function in which I tagged what kind of position is going on at this particular timestamp. And so here you can see this is arm drag, single leg, seated guard, upper body, lower body combination, ashigarami, hand fighting, inside camping, and so on and so forth, which allows you to start searching for sequences. So let's say you want to look at arm drags, right? And you want to say, well, let me see what you have as far as arm drags go. And when you search for arm drag, well, here they are. This is all the stuff that I introduced in the database that is related to arm drag. And some of them are just arm drags. Some of them is going to be an arm drag single leg combination. Some of them is going to be an underhook, arm drag, brief description, arm drag set up to gain an underhook with an excited exclamation point, and so on and so forth, right? It's very, very simple. Now, you also have another option, which is a view here. Notion databases work in view. So you have the same database, but you can sort of filter the way in which the database appears to you. And this is filtered by positions, grouped rather by positions. And again, it should be pretty self-explanatory. You have these groups, and the groups are the positions. So here you have all the 50-50 exchanges, all the Anaconda exchanges. This is linked to my own front headlock instructional that you find on YouTube for free. This is all the ankle pick exchanges, or all the arm drags, and so on and so forth, right? And so here as well, you can type in arm drag, and there it is. These are all the arm drag exchanges, okay? You're gonna have access to this for free. You're probably gonna have to, I'm not sure whether you need a Notion profile for this or not. You probably don't need to download the app. You can just access this on browser, and there it is. So it's obviously doesn't contain the entirety of the Jiu-Jitsu game, but it's definitely the things that if you come regularly to class, if you have been following my work, if you've been taking privates with me, and so on and so forth, here you can find all of these matches that I talk about.